To get back at him, the ref did this. But the masters at annoying the refs are the Brazilians. A player named Andre Luiz simply took the card out of the ref's hand. I doubt he'd have the courage to do that to this ref. This is Pierluigi Collina, the best referee in the history of soccer. This ref surely learned from him. The guy just sprayed their cleats. This time nothing happened, but in another game, the ref got in trouble. The players went after him, complaining about the spray on their cleats, and the guy lost it. Look at what he did. Another one who surely learned from Collina was this ref here. Look at his expression telling Salah to be quiet. Check out this player's sly move. Fekir tried to throw the ball at the ref and missed, then took the opportunity to pretend it wasn't him. Someone who didn't pretend was the Brazilian striker Luiz Fabiano. Check out the shove he gave the ref.
Está expulso Luiz Fabiano. Expulso Luiz Fabiano.
But the best way to protest against a ref's decision is by doing this. The linesmen aren't spared from this creative protest either, but the most innovative way to complain to the officials is this one. The guy simply threw his cleat at the linesman. And speaking of pulling down pants, look at how this player prepared to enter the field. When the fourth official noticed, she couldn't hold back her laughter. But this Monaco player went too far and completely lost it. Now look at Agüero's cunning. He tried to make a move on the linesman and ended up getting a push. And this player who hugged the linesman from behind? But he didn't mean any harm. It was to prevent her from falling behind the advertising boards. Speaking of linesmen, look at the weird thing a player did to the linesman. What could have been going through his head? When the ref noticed, he came and gave a card for disrespect. And talking about refs, look at what a famous Brazilian referee called Fernanda Colombo did in a match. She pretended to give a card but just pulled out a tissue from her pocket. Check out her little smirk like she just fooled everyone. Now this ref here found the best way to resolve a brawl, and it's not by giving a card but by getting into a fight. And man, this ref had no patience on that day. Look at what he did after getting hit by the ball. But most impressive is this ref. Look at his skills. Even Thiago Alcantara was impressed. And this one who perfectly controlled the ball and even dodged the player. But what these refs have in skill, this one has in bad luck. Speaking of lack of skill, Mascherano tried to play a 1-2 with the ref, but it didn't go well. Can someone explain what this linesman did? For a moment, I thought it was a fan who invaded the field. Now look at this ref who got accidentally shoved and decided to give a red card. If this kind of thing happens in professional games, imagine in amateur matches. Look at what this player did. The worst part is that this ref had to run off the field to avoid getting beaten up by the players. This ref here is another one who had to retreat. Everyone wanted to hit him, and the soccer field almost turned into a ring. Speaking of friendly matches, look at what this ref did to Kaka. After giving a yellow card, she simply took out her phone to take a photo. Look at James Rodriguez's reaction when he received a yellow card. And of course, he ended up getting a red card after that. I'm sure this ref here did something against Fabregas. Look at the stomp he received. I know the video is about players versus refs, but look at what these fans did. As if hitting the ball at the linesman wasn't enough, they celebrated like it was a goal. But even worse is how this player simply went over the ref. Literally. And even his teammate didn't escape. He just gave a tap to the ref and ended up getting scolded. You've never seen this before. The player showing a red card to the ref. That's new, right? Look at how old-time referees were tougher. This one simply slapped the player who came to complain about a card. But in this case, player and ref turned into two fighters. After a card, they simply went at each other, and no one came to separate them. Now, I'd like to see if he would have the courage to fight Duranko. This Brazilian ref is simply giant, and he has little patience with complaining players. Check out the stomp he gave to a player. The guy didn't think twice and pushed Duranko. And this feud between Duranko and Felipe Melo, the player puffed up his chest, but when the ref got close, he backed off from starting a fight. Someone who didn't back off was Ballack, former Chelsea player, who, when the ref didn't call a penalty, ran after him. Now this player here had to be held back from going after the ref in Japanese soccer. Another player who had to be held back was Gary Medel. And man, look at the ref's expression when he saw the player coming. In the end, a poor plastic chair suffered. In the Bundesliga, almost the opposite happened. The player tried to get the ball, but the ref was in the way, and he literally held on to the ref. But this one was the ref who messed up a match the most. The guy messed up a simple play in the midfield, and it ended up resulting in a goal for the opposing team. This one here did something very similar. When the defender threw the ball, it hit the referee's head and returned to the opposing team, who ended up scoring a goal. This guy did what every player would want to. He found the yellow card on the ground and showed it to the ref. That was really ugly, the tackle the ref pulled on that player. What a fall. Check out the stare down the ref got after calling a corner kick in Mexican soccer. But that's nothing compared to English football in the 90s. Look at all the Manchester United players going after the ref. He didn't even have the guts to react. The Portuguese players did something similar. Cristiano Ronaldo and his crew went after the ref when he didn't call a foul at the edge of the box. But if there's someone who knows how to provoke in the best way possible, it's the Brazilians. See what Neymar did. A foul was called for PSG, and he just kicked the ball through the ref's legs. More impressive than that is this ref with his mouth wide open looking at Fellaini's hair. But there's one player no ref can mess with. When a ref tried to card Ibrahimović, the player refused to walk, and the ref had to go to him. Now that's guts, huh? This isn't for everyone. Even Ronaldinho had problems with a ref who accidentally showed him a red card. Thank goodness he realized and gave the yellow. Referees are usually impartial, but this one here had no shame celebrating his favorite team's goal. This one did the same. Look at this linesman's dance celebrating a goal. Check out this corner kick. I don't know if it was intentional or if the player just messed up the kick, but it was a powerful shot for sure. Uglier than that is the face the ref made at the player. But nothing tops this guy. Look what he did after getting a red card. First, he got aggressive and went after the ref. Then he just started crying on the field. He really didn't want to get expelled. And the award for the best flying kick in soccer goes to this goalkeeper here, who went all in on the ref. This other goalkeeper nearly landed a direct punch on the ref, who showed some fighter reflexes. Now this fight was intense. First, players went after the ref for the red card, and then the linesman came in to restore order, pushing everyone around. You know what's the best way to avoid a red card? Easy. Just grab the card from the ref's hand. This wouldn't happen in Brazil, also because the refs here are more aggressive. Look at this small lineswoman going after the players. As they say, the shorter ones are the fiercest. Speaking of angry people, you won't believe what happened in this Sergipe versus Botafogo match. A brawl started and the players went after the ref. But the Sergipe president really lost it, invaded the field, and went for the aggression. In another match here in Brazil, something even worse happened. The players went after the ref, and he simply had to run off the field. Yeah, there are things that only happen in Brazil.